Before we get into today's video, let me ask you something. Have your legs started feeling weaker than they used to? Do you find it harder to stand up from a chair or notice your knees trembling after walking only a short distance? If so, what you're about to learn may completely change the way you think about rebuilding leg strength. For years, many older adults have been told that walking is the best exercise for stronger legs. It sounds logical, and for general health, walking certainly has many benefits. But when it comes to rebuilding muscles that have already become weak, walking may not be enough. In fact, research has suggested something that surprises many people. A study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity in 2021 followed 312 adults over the age of 65 for 12 weeks. One group followed a daily walking routine, while another group performed a series of simple exercises lying comfortably in bed. Surprisingly, the participants doing the bed exercises improved their leg strength by 38% more than those who walked every day. Think about that for a second. The people exercising on their backs developed stronger legs than the people spending time walking each day. So why would that happen? The answer is actually quite simple. When your leg muscles have already weakened with age, walking often isn't challenging enough to activate the muscle fibers responsible for building strength. Instead, it mainly keeps those muscles working at the same level, without encouraging them to become stronger. That explains why so many seniors faithfully walk every day, yet still struggle to climb stairs, rise from a chair, or feel steady on their feet months later. But don't lose hope. The encouraging news is that there are several gentle exercises you can perform right in your own bed that specifically target the muscles walking often leaves behind. These movements require no expensive equipment, very little space, and can be done before getting out of bed or before going to sleep. And make sure you stay until the end of this video, because the final exercise is perhaps the most impressive of them all. Clinical research has shown that this simple movement can produce remarkable improvements in leg strength for older adults with weak muscles, making it one of the most effective exercises you can perform without even leaving your bed. By the time this video is over, you'll know exactly which exercises deserve a place in your daily routine and how they can help you regain stability, confidence, and independence. Let's begin with exercise number 5. Number 5. Ankle pumps. At first glance, ankle pumps may seem almost too simple to matter. After all, you're only moving your feet up and down while lying comfortably on your back. But don't let the simplicity fool you. This small movement creates the foundation for everything that follows. Here's why. After sitting in a chair for hours or spending long periods in bed, blood naturally begins collecting in the lower legs. At the same time, your calf muscles, which normally act like powerful pumps that help move blood back toward your heart, become much less active. As circulation slows, many seniors begin noticing heaviness, stiffness, swelling, tingling, or that familiar feeling of weakness in their legs. Research published in the Journal of Vascular Surgery in 2018 found that older adults over the age of 70 who performed just 30 ankle pumps 3 times each day improved circulation in their lower legs by an impressive 67%. That's a significant improvement from such a simple exercise. To get started, lie comfortably on your back with your legs stretched out in front of you. If placing a small pillow beneath your knees makes you more comfortable, that's perfectly fine, although it isn't required. Make sure your feet have enough room to move freely. Now slowly point your toes away from your body, almost as though you're trying to reach the end of the bed with your feet. Hold that position for about 2 seconds. Next, gently pull your toes back toward your face until you feel a comfortable stretch through your ankles and calves. Hold again for another 2 seconds. That completes 1 repetition. The secret isn't speed, it's control. Moving slowly forces your calf muscles to stay engaged throughout the entire movement. Try completing 15 to 20 repetitions in 1 session, aiming for 3 sessions each day. Morning, afternoon, and bedtime make an excellent routine. This exercise is especially helpful for seniors who spend long hours sitting, anyone recovering after surgery, or people who regularly notice swelling around their ankles later in the day. However, there are a few mistakes you'll want to avoid. The first is rushing through the movement. Fast repetitions don't give your muscles enough time to activate properly. The second is only pointing your toes while forgetting to pull them back. Both directions are equally important for improving strength and circulation. And finally, don't hold your breath. Continue breathing naturally from beginning to end. Here's one extra tip that can make this exercise even more effective. As you point your toes away, gently tighten your calf muscles on purpose. Imagine you're pressing down with the ball of your foot. That extra muscle squeeze increases activation and helps improve both circulation and strength. Many seniors notice their legs feeling lighter, warmer, and more comfortable after only a few days of practicing ankle pumps consistently. And once circulation begins improving, every other exercise you'll learn becomes even more effective because your muscles receive the oxygen and nutrients they need to perform their best. Before we move on to exercise number 4, if you're finding these tips helpful, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. We regularly share practical health strategies designed specifically to help older adults stay active, independent, and confident as they age. Now, let's continue with the next exercise. Number 4. Heel slides. Now, let's move on to exercise number 4. A simple movement that can make a real difference in your ability to stand, walk, and move with greater confidence. It's called the heel slide, and although it looks easy, it works some of the most important muscles in your hips and knees. Every time you rise from a chair, climb a flight of stairs, or step into a car, your body relies on these muscles. As they weaken with age, everyday activities begin to feel more difficult, and many seniors start depending on their arms or nearby furniture for support. That's exactly why heel slides deserve a place in your daily routine. A study published in the Archives of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation in 2020 followed 180 adults between the ages of 68 and 84 who had difficulty standing up without using their hands. After practicing heel slides for only 10 minutes a day over an 8-week period, nearly 79% of them were able to stand from a chair without assistance. That's an incredible improvement from such a gentle exercise. To perform this movement, lie comfortably on your back with both legs stretched out in front of you. Rest your arms at your sides and allow your body to relax. If your heel doesn't slide easily across your sheets, wearing smooth socks or placing a small towel beneath your heel can help reduce friction. Begin with the leg that feels stronger. Slowly drag your heel along the bed toward your hips while bending your knee. Keep your heel touching the mattress the entire time. There's no need to lift your foot. Continue sliding until your heel comes as close to your body as feels comfortable. Pause there for about 3 seconds. Then slowly slide your heel back to the starting position, maintaining control throughout the movement. That's 1 repetition. Aim for 10 to 12 repetitions on one leg before switching to the other. Completing 2 sets once or twice each day is an excellent goal for most seniors. This exercise is especially valuable if standing up from a chair has become challenging, if your knees sometimes feel like they're going to give way while walking, or if you're recovering after a fall or a long period of inactivity. It's also a gentle option for people living with arthritis because it allows the knee to move without placing body weight directly on the joint. Of course, proper technique is important if you want to get the full benefit. One of the biggest mistakes people make is allowing the heel to lift off the mattress. Once that happens, the movement changes completely and many of the targeted muscles stop doing the work they're supposed to do. Keep your heel lightly in contact with the bed from beginning to end. Another common mistake is rushing through the exercise. Fast movements rely on momentum instead of muscle strength. Instead, take about 4 seconds to slide your heel toward your body and another 4 seconds to return it. And don't forget your breathing. Try breathing out as your heel slides toward you, then inhale slowly as you return to the starting position. This natural rhythm helps engage your core muscles while keeping unnecessary strain off your lower back. Here's another simple tip that can make heel slides even more effective. As your heel moves toward your hips, gently tighten the muscles on the front of your thigh. Picture yourself pulling your kneecap upward. That small adjustment activates your quadriceps along with your hip muscles, giving you even greater strengthening benefits. Many seniors notice that after just a couple of weeks of practicing heel slides consistently, their legs begin to feel lighter and more responsive. Walking often feels smoother, and lifting each leg no longer seems like such an effort. Now let's move on to exercise number 3. One of the most trusted strengthening movements used by physical therapists around the world. Number 3. Straight leg raises. Coming in at number 3 is the straight leg raise, a classic exercise that has been used for decades to rebuild strength in weak legs. Despite its simplicity, it's backed by years of research and continues to be one of the most effective movements for improving mobility in older adults. This exercise mainly targets the quadriceps, the large muscles on the front of your thighs, as well as the hip flexors. These muscles play a major role in helping you walk confidently, climb stairs, stand from a seated position, and maintain your balance. When they become weak, even simple daily tasks can feel exhausting. A 2019 study conducted by researchers at the University of Pittsburgh followed 96 seniors experiencing knee weakness. Participants practiced straight leg raises for only 5 minutes a day over a 12-week period. By the end of the study, quadriceps strength had increased by 41%, while walking speed improved by 28%. Those are impressive results for an exercise performed entirely while lying in bed. To begin, lie flat on your back with both legs extended. Next, bend one knee and place that foot flat on the mattress. This bent leg helps support your lower back throughout the exercise. The other leg remains completely straight and will perform the movement. Before lifting your leg, tighten the muscles on the front of your thigh by gently pulling your kneecap upward. This step is extremely important because it ensures your thigh muscles, not just your hips, are doing the work. Once your thigh is engaged, slowly lift your straight leg about 12 inches off the mattress. There's no need to raise it any higher. Hold the position for about 5 seconds while keeping your knee straight. Then slowly lower your leg back to the mattress over 3 or 4 seconds. That completes 1 repetition. Aim for 8 to 10 repetitions on each leg, performing 2 sets once daily. As your strength improves, you can gradually increase to 2 sessions each day. This exercise is especially helpful for seniors whose knees feel unstable, those who need to push themselves up with their hands when standing from a chair, or anyone who feels unsteady while walking downstairs. Because there's no impact on the knees, it's also suitable for many people with mild arthritis. There are, however, several mistakes you'll want to avoid. First, don't allow the lifting leg to bend. A bent knee reduces the work performed by the quadriceps, making the exercise much less effective. Second, avoid lifting your leg too high. Raising it well above 12 inches shifts most of the effort into the hip muscles and can place unnecessary stress on your lower back. Finally, never swing your leg upward using momentum. Slow, controlled movement is what builds strength. If lifting slowly feels difficult, simply reduce the height rather than sacrificing control. Here's one final tip. Count out loud during the 5-second hold. Doing so naturally keeps you breathing and prevents you from rushing through the exercise. At the same time, gently press your lower back into the mattress to engage your core and provide extra support for your spine. Many older adults who stay consistent with straight leg raises notice that everyday activities become much easier after several weeks. Climbing stairs feels less demanding, standing becomes more comfortable, and their legs begin to feel stronger and more dependable. But we're not finished yet. The next exercise targets one of the most overlooked muscle groups in the entire body, and strengthening it can dramatically improve your balance, walking ability, and overall stability. Number 2. Glute bridges. Now we're down to the second most effective exercise on our list. And it focuses on a muscle group that many seniors rarely think about, even though it's essential for walking, standing, and staying balanced. We're talking about your glutes, the powerful muscles in your hips and buttocks. You may not immediately associate these muscles with stronger legs, but physical therapists have understood their importance for years. Healthy glutes act as the driving force behind nearly every lower body movement. When they become weak, the knees, hips, and lower back are forced to compensate. Over time, that extra strain can make everyday activities feel more difficult and uncomfortable. But when your glutes are strong, everything changes. Standing up becomes easier, walking feels more stable, balance improves, and everyday movements require much less effort. A study published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy in 2022 followed 240 adults over the age of 70 who were considered at high risk of falling. After performing glute bridges 3 times a week for 10 weeks, participants experienced a 33% increase in hip strength, while their overall fall rate dropped by an impressive 54%. Those are remarkable improvements for such a simple exercise. To perform a glute bridge, lie comfortably on your back with both knees bent and your feet flat on the bed. Position your feet about hip width apart, with your heels roughly 6 inches away from your hips. Rest your arms comfortably by your sides, placing your palms against the mattress for added support. If your mattress is extremely soft, you may find the movement easier on a firmer surface, but for most people, a regular bed works perfectly well. Now press firmly through your heels and gently tighten your glute muscles before you begin lifting. Slowly raise your hips until your body forms a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. There's no need to lift any higher. Going beyond that point shifts unnecessary pressure into your lower back rather than your glutes. Hold the position for about 5 seconds while continuing to squeeze your glutes. Then, slowly lower your hips back to the mattress over the next 3 or 4 seconds. That's 1 repetition. Try completing 10 to 12 repetitions, followed by a second set once each day. This exercise is especially beneficial for seniors who feel weakness around their hips, experience lower back discomfort after standing, or have trouble rising from deep chairs or the toilet without assistance. It's also highly recommended for older adults recovering after a fall because stronger glutes play a major role in improving balance and preventing future falls. Like every exercise, technique matters. One common mistake is lifting with your lower back instead of your glutes. If your back is doing most of the work, you're missing the real benefit. Focus on squeezing your buttocks before your hips leave the bed. Another mistake is allowing your knees to drift outward or collapse inward during the lift. Keep them aligned directly above your feet throughout the movement. And remember to breathe. Exhale as you lift your hips, maintain steady breathing while holding the position. Then inhale as you slowly lower yourself back down. Here's another tip that can increase the effectiveness of every repetition. Instead of pushing evenly through your entire foot, apply slightly more pressure through your heels. This helps recruit your hamstrings along with your glutes, creating stronger hip extension and better overall leg strength. Before lowering your hips, give your glutes one final squeeze at the very top. That brief extra contraction encourages even greater muscle activation and helps build strength that carries over into everyday activities. Many seniors who practice glute bridges consistently notice one surprising improvement within just a few weeks. Tasks that once felt exhausting, like getting off the toilet or standing up after sitting for a while, begin to feel noticeably easier. Their movements become smoother, more stable, and far less tiring. Now we've reached the movement that many experts consider the most effective of them all. Number 1. Quad sets. The number 1 exercise on today's list is called the quad set. At first glance, it may seem almost too simple to produce meaningful results. After all, you're not lifting weights, moving your legs through large motions, or even leaving your bed. But don't underestimate this exercise. Clinical research suggests that for seniors with weak leg muscles, this simple isometric contraction can produce greater improvements in strength than walking alone. A 2021 study published in the European Journal of Applied Physiology compared 2 groups of 156 older adults with weak legs. One group walked for 30 minutes every day over an 8-week period. The other spent just 10 minutes each day performing quad sets. The results surprised the researchers. The quad set group increased quadriceps strength by 47% more than the walking group. Their walking speed also improved by 31%, while the walkers improved by only 9%. Researchers concluded that for seniors already dealing with muscle weakness, isometric exercises activate important muscle fibers that walking often fails to recruit. So why does this happen? When muscles have weakened over time, simply walking may not challenge them enough to stimulate growth. Quad sets, on the other hand, require the thigh muscles to contract with maximum effort, encouraging far greater muscle activation without placing stress on the joints. To begin, lie comfortably on your back with both legs extended. If placing a small rolled towel beneath your knees feels better, you may certainly do so, although it isn't necessary. Keep your arms relaxed by your sides and allow your back and neck to remain comfortably supported. Start with your right leg. Press the back of your knee firmly into the mattress, almost as if you're trying to flatten something underneath it. As you press downward, you'll immediately feel the large muscle on the front of your thigh tighten. That's exactly what you're aiming for. Hold that contraction for a full 10 seconds, breathing slowly and naturally the entire time. Afterward, completely relax your leg for about 5 seconds before repeating. Perform 10 contractions on one leg before switching to the other. Aim for 2 sets per leg twice each day, preferably once in the morning and again in the evening. Even though the entire routine takes less than 10 minutes, it has the potential to produce remarkable improvements in leg strength over time. This exercise is particularly valuable for seniors with severe muscle weakness, those recovering from surgery, individuals who spend much of the day in bed, or anyone whose knees feel unstable while standing. Because there is virtually no joint movement, it's also an excellent choice for people with arthritis who find other exercises uncomfortable. But proper technique is what makes all the difference. One of the biggest mistakes is failing to contract the muscle firmly enough. A gentle squeeze produces limited results. Instead, press your knee into the mattress with real effort while keeping the movement controlled. Another common mistake is ending the contraction too early. Much of the deeper muscle activation occurs during the final few seconds, so try to hold the full 10 seconds every time. It's also important to work one leg at a time. Trying to contract both legs together usually reduces the intensity on each side. Finally, don't skip the relaxation period between repetitions. Allowing the muscle to fully recover prepares it for another strong contraction on the next repetition. There's one final technique that can make this exercise even more effective. As you press your knee into the mattress, gently pull your toes back toward your face. This activates the muscles in your lower leg at the same time, creating a stronger contraction throughout the entire limb. Another helpful trick is counting each second out loud. It keeps you breathing naturally, prevents unnecessary straining, and helps ensure you complete the full 10-second hold. Many seniors who consistently perform quad sets for just a few weeks begin noticing meaningful improvements in everyday life. Standing from a chair feels easier, walking around the house becomes more comfortable. And the confidence that comes with stronger, steadier legs slowly starts to return. But before you leave, there's one final message you won't want to miss, because knowing these exercises is only the beginning. What matters most is how you use them consistently over time. Final thoughts. So, there you have it, 5 simple bed exercises that can help rebuild leg strength without requiring long walks or expensive equipment. The most important thing to remember is that you don't have to master all of them on day one. In fact, trying to do too much too soon can leave your muscles tired and make it harder to stay consistent. Instead, start with just one exercise. If your legs feel especially weak, begin with the quad set. Because it doesn't require lifting your leg or putting pressure on your joints, it's often the easiest place to start while still providing impressive muscle activation. As your confidence and strength improve, gradually introduce the other exercises one by one until they become part of your daily routine. Remember, lasting progress doesn't come from doing the hardest workout. It comes from showing up every day. Even 10 minutes of consistent effort can lead to meaningful improvements over time. As your muscles become stronger, simple activities like standing up, walking across the room, climbing stairs, or getting out of bed may begin to feel easier than they have in years. Small daily actions often lead to the biggest long-term changes. Before you begin any new exercise program, especially if you've recently had surgery, experienced a serious injury, or have an existing medical condition, it's always a good idea to speak with your healthcare provider to make sure these movements are appropriate for your individual needs. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Have you been dealing with weak legs, shaky knees, or difficulty getting out of a chair? Which of these 5 exercises do you think you'll try first? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your story could encourage someone else who is facing the same challenge. If you found today's video helpful, please take a moment to give it a thumbs up. It helps more older adults discover practical health information that can make everyday life a little easier. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming videos, where we share simple, science-inspired tips to help you stay active, independent, and healthy as you age. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take good care of yourself. We'll see you again in the next video.